Shalom, giving all praise to my Heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh, by Yashim, Yahweh Shai, by Yashim, Mukah HaKadosh, the honors, the apostles, and heirs that well. Peace and many salutations to Yakim that's toiling in his truth. Well, Mr. K-Dubb here, on your left-hand side, he received his Negro wake-up call. You know, he got a mouth full of racism, dealing with Christian nationalists. Now, Christian nationalism is the idea that America is a Christian nation and it should continue to be a Christian nation, and Christians should be a part of not only the government, but they should be head over the government. It should be a theocracy. And with that, there's certain lineage of people that's supposed to rule, and they are of European stock. Okay. Now, ironically enough, here you have it. It's just K-Dubb right here. K-Dubb on the right-hand side. He's adamantly against woke theology, which is a leftist idea or expression of Christianity, where it's all inclusive, and also it's all about social justice. Now, this movement started with so-called Negroes, of course, and it was later on attached to the leftist agenda, which brings in wayward doctrines, which we are against here too. But I find it ironic when you listen to this guy here, K-Dubb. He's adamantly against reparations. He's against basically the contemporary generation of Europeans. I'm trying to be scholarly, right? Or Edomites that should pay for what their forefathers have done, which is totally against the scriptures. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and grab that right quick because I don't want to be rambling, not bringing out these scriptures. If you go to Isaiah, the 14th chapter, 21st verse, he speaks on this. It says, Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So when it comes to God's chosen people, there is reciprocity on nations. We see that throughout. We've seen this throughout the Bible. Now with Christianity, he has an all-inclusive ideology. Yet he's against wokeism, the very movement that allowed you to be a part of, Christian nationalism or the Christian identity by inclusion. See, this poor gentleman before you, he worships the image of the beast. What is the image of the beast? Let's go to Revelation. Revelation, the 13th chapter. Actually, let's go to the 14th chapter. Because it's kind of straight to it. Revelation 14:9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, that beast basically is the Roman Empire and the continuation of the Roman Empire, which is America. The history of the Brits, the Renaissance era, all that had brought in the hegemony of who? Of Esau, Edom, so-called Europeans. That beast in his image, that's talking about the hegemony of Esau, Edom. Right? This is what this man worships. He doesn't understand it, and he's hurt because he's getting made fun of. He can't really do anything about it because he has to be a good little boy and shows that he's one of the good ones. Well, he doesn't understand that he worship is basically the hegemony of Esau Edom. Hegemony refers to the dominance by either a social group or a country other than over others. So like I'm a bit excited. I'm gonna read it again for you guys. Hegemony refers to the dominance by either a social group or a country over others, right? So who hegemony is ruling in the latter days, right? The earth is given to the hand of the wicked, cover of the faces of the judge of is not aware. Who is he? Let's talk about Esau Edom, man. You know what I'm saying? That's who's ruling right now. And this gentleman right here, this is who he worships. This is why he's so adamantly against us. He says, we're the worst guys out there. Yet he is a proponent for the very institution that enslaved him, and still regards him as subhuman, as less than. And he doesn't realize no matter how hard you try, you still gonna be considered a boy. So let's listen to Mr. K-Dubb's work. He's actually a very articulate brother. You know, he studied, I can say that about him when it comes to defending at least, the hegemony of Esau Edom. Let's play this right here.
Places where we went more.
Hey, here. Just want to let you know, just in terms of time, you got about 3 minutes.
Okay, cool.
There's about 7 minutes right there. Right.
I'm getting it right. So this when they liberated,
I'm gonna fast
endorsing reparations.
Okay, yeah, you barely made it, bro. You might have got about 30 extra seconds there, I think, and I apologize for that. I've been trying to do better. I've been trying to stay on top of it. You know what I'm saying?
So they're debating about woke theology. Is it biblical? What is an example of woke theology? Reparations. Okay. All right. Now this guy, the brother that's from I believe he's from Detroit. I don't know his name. I think his name is Chris also. He's pro woke theology. And what Esau Edom just make up all these terms and then make it as if it's doctrinal, and that's going off, man. Woke theology versus non-woke theology, and all this crap. It's not biblical, okay? And this is where all this confusion, this madness is coming from. It's really how Esau Edom handles the Bible, right? So anyway, this guy here, K-Dubb, he's against woke theology. Okay, right? He's about forgiveness and moving forward. Okay.
So I do want to go back to Chris, right? To K-Dubb. A lot was said on each side, and so what I want to do, I think it can kind of condense our time. And guys, I talked to you about this beforehand. Let's just take a second, Chris, K-Dubb, can you maybe give your understanding of what you believe Chris Samuel was saying, and then Chris Samuel, I want you to weigh in or to articulate what you believe.
Actually,
has no next of kin to whom we have this hyper narrative that anybody disagrees with us. To me, that's
we'll take K-Dubb for VP.
Okay, right. This is where I want it, guys, right here. This is where I want to check this out.
I definitely want. I want to make sure we get to. So again, it sounds like we've got some clarity now. Okay, so the problem isn't with the definition. As Chris has presented it, the problem is going to have to do with application, which is why, we have this reparations questions coming up, because I think that's where we're going to maybe see some, diversions here. Okay. And we'll be able to tease some of these things out. Okay. So, let's get to, I want to make sure I'm keeping it right. I want to make sure I'm keeping the order right. Okay. So we're actually going to K-Dubb first on this one. We're going to get to the subject of reparations. So we talked about the gospel. We've talked about, what is woke theology. And I feel like we've kind of beat that right there. And now I want to throw out, okay, so, reparations. K-Dubb, you got a maximum of 10 minutes. Let's get it, man. What are your thoughts on, is it biblical?
Cool, man. Appreciate you. So yes.
I obviously do not affirm the concept of reparations. I distinguish between the what I would argue is the biblical concept of restitution and reparations. Let me provide a few texts to lay out my position first. Numbers 5 verses.
It's funny how he uses the Old Testament, the law, to dispute reparations, to dispute his people getting help for what they have endured. Nobody else thinks like that. See, the only people who think like that is really Judah. I hate to say it. You know, Judah, the only people who believes in multiculturalism. When you go to people that's proclaiming that they're the Israelites, there's nobody, you know, could test that. They get billions of dollars in aid and military aid annually, you know, for their government that was set up in 1948. You see? And they got those reparations for what they endured. Now you, being a so-called black man, you have a problem with that. You say, no, we have to go to the Old Testament. You say you shouldn't use at all, right? The law is done away with. You use the law, you know, as a way to amend a problem between you and your white brother. You and your white brother, yet you hate us. And you got what you was looking for, boy. I gotta grab it. I gotta grab it real quick. Because y'all gonna see what I'm saying real soon. Y'all gonna be like, wow, this nigga here is off the heels of a cheesy. I'm gonna take my time with it, you know, and grab these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? You got what you was looking for. Because you out here cooning. Man, there's so many precepts coming through my mind, man. And I don't mean to call you that name, man. I don't like using those type of terms. So, you know, I'm gonna retract that statement. But you're out here being a proponent for people who hate you, bro. And you don't even understand what this guy's saying. The guy who you're combating, you're hurt to say that he's saying that, you know, it's all about the blood of the nation. He's a proponent for his people. That's how nations are built. You don't get it because you don't have a rulership mentality, kinfolk. Okay? That's the problem. You know, it is just what we endure. You know, a logical thing to do is to assimilate. If you're looking at things, you know, on the carnal level, you know, it's a shame, really. So you don't spend your whole life trying to be a good boy. You got reminded in the last days, and good, because you need to see this, that they don't like you, no matter how much you defend them, and you know, are against, you know, things that they're against, the ideologies they're against, like woke theology in the church. You know, it should be reparations. We have to use the Old Testaments for our fellow white man. Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a slave? Is he a homeboy slave? Why is he spoiled? Poor thing. That's you. You spoiled, my bro. You spoiled. You done all that for what? To be used up? But trimming that way to seek love. I know it's in the same way. I had so many precepts around. I'm just gonna grab them. We bring scriptures out here. I know it was in the same one. All right. I'm gonna jump down to verse 23. How canst thou say I am not polluted? I have not gone after Balaam. See thy way in the valley. Know what thou hast done. Thou art a swift dromedary, travelers her ways. You're going to and fro, trying to seek help, and it's of no avail, man. Right? Jump down to verse 33. Why trimmest thou way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. So here you are, you're against reparations for your people, right? And you are a proponent for, inclusiveness and Christian nationality. You're a Trump fan. You vote for Trump. You're not racist. I'm black, but you're not racist. I'm articulate. I'm on your team, spiritually, ideologically speaking. And you were used by the serpent. There's so much I want to pull out, but for the sake of time, okay, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this. That's Esau. Play a little bit more of this, and then I'm gonna jump to Vocab'S video about the situation. Okay, check this out. Play a little bit more of this dude.
Numbers chapters 5, verses 5 through 8 says, the Lord spoke to Moses saying, speak to the people of Israel. When a man or woman commits any sin, any of the sins that people commit by breaking faith with the Lord, and that person realizes his guilt, he shall confess his sins that he's.
The reason why he's using this also because he's a Calvinist. Calvinists believe that in replacement theology, which states that those that believe in Christ are now Israelites. So under that belief, he believes that he's a fellow Israelite with the Edomites. Okay. All right. Which is ironic because he still is a proponent for the state of Israel. I wonder how that works, but that's why this is another reason why he used Numbers the 5th chapter. Okay.
Committed. He shall make full restitution for his wrong, adding a fifth to it and giving it to him to whom he did it wrong. But if the man has no next of kin to whom restitution may be made for the wrong, the restitution for the Lord, for the wrong shall go to the Lord for the priest. In addition, in the ram of atonement with which atonement is made for him. One thing I want to lay out right here in the text I go through. Clearly, this man, he's the one who did the sin. It is, so I would say restitution involves personal sin, whereas reparations, it doesn't involve personal sin. Exodus 22:1. If a man steals an ox for a sheep and kills it or sells it, he shall repay.
What did we just read in Revelations? Excuse me, in Revelations. I just seen Revelations say, what did we just read in Isaiah? The 14th chapter. Let's go to it one more time. We gotta go to that. See, we like to bring scriptures out here and prove our point. Scripture speaking, not just sit and ridicule other people. Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fear the face of the world with cities. Now, right here, right, Isaiah is prophesying that Babylon is judged. The future Babylon is going to be judged. And the children are going to bear the iniquity of their fathers. Okay? Right? So what Chris here is talking about is incorrect. It's incorrect. Okay? It's incorrect. All right? Just play.
5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. Again, he stole the ox or sheep. He's done the evil. He's done the sin. Notice who repays. His great grandchildren? No, him. He's to pay for this. So we know that God demands justice and hate oppression. Micah 6:8. That is clear. I'm not arguing for injustice. I'm not arguing for oppression. I'm disagreeing with application. Let me say that again. I'm not arguing for justice. I'm not arguing for oppression. Justice means holding people responsible for the wrongs they have committed. When we have harmed another person, we make restitution. As an example, when Zacchaeus, the tax collector, converted, he promised to pay back anyone he defrauded fourfold. Let's look at that. Luke 19:8. And Zacchaeus stood and said to the Lord, "Behold, Lord, half of my goods I give to the poor. And if I defraud anyone of anything, I restore it fourfold." Notice the personal act of restitution. It's you bearing forth the penalty for what you have done.
See that, which has never happened, you know. And this dude makes the argument, the apologist in Detroit, he makes the arguments like, look, the Lord does always deal with nations. And that's simply what we're saying, and this is simply what this guy here is saying here. As far as bloodline and everything like that. Let me get back to it. I'm gonna start at the 9th mark. Here we go. Yeah. And just real quick, man. You know what? I felt bad for watching this for K-Dubb, because he's trying to, you know, at least that man believes in the Bible. I'll say that. That man is trying to actually live what he believes, and I respect that out of that man. But it's just like, dog, stop being so naive, bro. All right, so we're starting around the 9th minute mark.
That clip. Now, what's the context of that clip? Because is he talking about other people there where he says, if you strap people to the chair, I guarantee. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll play the clip that K-Dubb, you give us some of the context. This is a clip provided by K-Dubb.
This is him talking about us. This guy here, Joe Webbing, he was speaking about us, and, you know, and painting us as racist, you know, and he had K-Dubb there agreeing with him. K-Dubb's in the background. Oh, yeah, I definitely believe that. Oh, and old boy flipped on him 2 years later.
I've seen some of this, and I've watched this multiple times, but I want the audience to know. Here we go.
Localism, I know for a fact, if I could sit them down, strap them to a chair, give them some truth serum, and hear what they really thought, I don't think that they would be a fan of interracial marriage.
This is them talking about us, and also he painted us in the woke sphere. Okay. This is him talking about us in the woke sphere. They all categorize us in the same state as these people, in which we're not for any of you guys. We're not for the left or the right. We're not for any of that. You know, ultimately, the left and the right is a part of the beast that I spoke about earlier. Okay? Right? Which is the continuation of the Roman Empire, right? NATO, EU, along with America, okay? All right. Now let's go to Revelation 13. We understand we're not with any of you guys. All right, we're not. Revelation 13. I'm going to start at 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. See, we have an understanding that the Most High is going to send his son, Yahweh, to return and take down all his kingdoms. You know, right? All wickedness, including our own people. Okay. Right. And also he's going to pay back the people who have put us into severe captivity, which are you Edomites. Majority of you so-called white people. Now all, no. Is it a skin color thing? No. We profess all the time that there's plenty, substantial amount of Israelites that are not air quote black. What about the northern tribe? We speak about that all the time. You know, it's not a black thing. Yet you insist to call us black, which for us is an epithet. We ask you guys not to call us that several times, but you do it anyway out of your racism, right? You shows that you're probably more or less an Edomite or just a 2/3. Okay? Nevertheless, you people are going to be taken down now, right? Along with that beast. All right? Verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. That's 2 horns represents these Democratic Party, these various parties that you see Esau even use to push his agenda. Speak as if he's a lamb on both sides and entice, both perspectives of the left and the right, the conservative and the liberal, and they're pushing them towards the same agenda, towards wickedness, right? And Christianity is complicit with what we see going on, right? Before you, violence in the streets, people are underpaid, right? AI is about to take over these jobs. Millions of people are about to be in dire situations, okay? And both parties are leading to that. Both parties are going to be destroyed. See, that's why we're not for this place. Nevertheless, you got Esau Edom right here, along with the help of our own people. Shame on you, K-Dubb. Black Hebrew Israelites. You putting us in the same light as somebody. You allowing this boy to put us in the same light as somebody that's a liberal, that's a heathen. Shame on you. We have integrity, and you know that.
Because it's all about, your identity coming from your ethnicity, and what you don't want to water that down. You don't want to lose that. You don't want to mix that, and so.
So that's Joel Webben. He's a pastor, if you guys don't know, in the Austin, Texas area. He leads something called Right Response Ministries.
Good old Texas. Them good old boys down here. I respect a man like this because he's straight up. I ain't got a problem with a man. I ain't even got a problem with a man like that. What I got a problem with the fool like you. That's the problem I got. He's an Edomite, man. He's supposed to be thinking like that.
It's a growing YouTube channel and larger influential ministry, part of a number of young guys. So there's a lot of synergy with this. Context of that clip. Why'd you pull that clip out, K-Dubb? Let's help the audience see, because some people may be like, wait, what's this pastor talking about now?
Yeah, so the context of the conversation, I'm gonna give you a 1,000-foot and then a smaller, close up. We're talking about Black Hebrew Israelites. So he brought me on the show to talk about really the doctrine, the racism of the Black Hebrew Israelites. In light of that, we shifted to talk about woke people. Mm-hmm. And so people who take identity, kind of their Black identity, right? And he was really going.
The conscious community, right? See, when people say woke, they don't even understand where the whole terminology woke came from. The whole terminology woke came from the concept of the conscious community. The conscious community was bred from the social justice era, a civil rights movement, right? In which they were fighting for Jake's equality with Esau Edom, right? Desegregation, things of that nature. This was also going on in the theological world too. These various churches did not condone the races being mixed, all right? And until contemporary times, that didn't change. I'm talking about well into the 70s. But it's a substantial amount of people, bro. And also, even now, church is substantially segregated. right? That's where you get the nationalism, Christian nationalism 2.0 going on. But it became, coin woke, in the 2000s, things of that nature. And then also, our plight was attached onto other people's plight, meaning, people, jumped on our bandwagon and used us basically as the mascot to push their agenda. Okay? Like, hey, I'm for you too, but I'm also a Mo. Oh, I'm a woman. And all these things. Now it turns to woke, where I'm conscious about social justice and all these wicked things being attached to it. Okay, but without really the social justice era, guys like K-Dubb would not exist. So he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, and now that's a term that he used to basically demonize Jake, right? That push against the Christian doctrine, man. He worships the image of the beast, y'all. Okay.
Point in on how he finds that troubling and problematic. And so that's the context of this clip right here.
And so this is when you were a guest on the show.
Correct.
How long ago was that?
This had to be over 2 years now. When that was on.
And he had you on to talk about Hebrew Israelism, right?
That's correct.
Hebrew Israelism.
And in the context of that, he's saying these woke folks, they wouldn't be okay with interethnic marriage. That's what he's talking about Christians, right?
Yeah, he's saying if honing in on your identity is such a huge thing, then you would naturally have to lead to a problem with interracial marriages, right? Yeah.
And I think what you're trying to show here is partially, at least, the contrast between him saying that now and some of the guys he hangs out with who say things kind of different.
Yeah, that's correct. It's the different side of Joel. Whether and I'm being favorable, I'm trying to say I think he's changed his position on this, right? He wasn't always saying the stuff he's saying now, right?
I think he changed the position. I don't know exactly what happened. And it's funny how just understanding and passive he is about this when it comes to these people. When it comes to us, though, oh, man, we're the worst thing going. We're the worst thing going. Y'all gonna see.
I think we're going to see that in some of the clips we played.
Now, although my understanding is officially, at least Joel and Right Response, they would say, hey, we're not inter-ethnic marriage, but it's some of his cohorts or some of his guys that he's with that he platforms and are part of the movement. That's my understanding.
They would say something to the effect, if I'm understanding them correctly, they're not anti-interracial marriage, but they definitely don't want to see it on a whole mass scale. Like it's kind of keep it small, right? Keep it simple, right? Don't get too crazy with it, right? Like we're cool with a little bit, but don't pour too much in the glass.
Now, who said that?
All right, so you get that right. Let's fast forward a little bit, because homeboy changes it up a little bit. All right, he changed it up a little bit.
Cruz is tied at.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry about that. Boy, check this out.
Every prior generation, they thought very differently than we think today. Mm-hmm. And one particular aspect of their distinct thinking from ours is that they actually thought that lineage and blood mattered. That it mattered. They actually thought it was common knowledge. This is how people used to think. They would think, this person is a son of so-and-so, son of so-and-so, son of so-and-so, the heir of a long legacy, a long lineage, and therefore he has noble.
Leader nigga. Michael Jackson mustache. Oh, it's like you brothers. You gotta have fun with this. Michael, I think it's Michael Jackson day or birthday today too, man. Look at this nigga, man. Oh man.
Blood, and what does that mean? It means that there is strength within him. We today, as moderns, modern Westerners, we really think that it doesn't matter.
You know what he's bringing out? Let's see what he's bringing out. Vocab kind of covering up what he's bringing out low key. And don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. You don't think Vocab? This is his first time hearing this. I didn't know it was this bad. Get the fuck out of here, man. Vocab made it a mission to speak about black Hebrew Israelites and go to the various churches. You don't think here we got to get some guns in the name of Jesus? You don't think you heard that before, man? Get the fuck out of here, man. Excuse my language, dog. But come on, man, bro. Hey, guys like this, K-Dubb, bro, you better grow the hell up, man. Grow up, man. This nigga startled. What the hell? Where are you at, bro? Boy, I tell you what. But anyway, I'm sorry, man. Let me get this for you. This is what he's bringing out. You know, don't let the devil use you, dog. What IUIC say? Don't let them fool you, man. Don't do it. With a lot of y'all, boy. Esau's gonna pull a capo on a lot of y'all, man. This is Matthew 1:21. Actually, he started at 18. He started at 18. I think it's like 18 to 25. It says, now the birth of Yahushua Mashiach was on this wise, when as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Ghost. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man and not willing to make her a public example, was mind to put her away privily. But while he thought of these things, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary thy wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Ghost, and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushua, for he shall save his people from their sins. See that? That's why he brought that out. Like, look, Jesus is going to save his people. You're his people. That's what he's saying. You're a special people. It's like Lord of the Rings. You know, we had the movie nights and we watched it. Remember, this was going on, that was going on, right? It was all about the lineage. This is what Esau Edom believes here in the U.S. This is what Esau Edom believes in the Holy Land, right? This is what Ethiopians believe. Some Ethiopians believe. This is what some Philippines believe, so-called. This is what some so-called Africans believe in, the Igbo tribe, the Lima tribe, right? Various tribes, all different color shades, believing that, hey, they stem from being of Israel. We're saying the same thing. Esau even saying, look, I believe in Jesus, and I'm the Israelite now because of my belief in Jesus. And you K-Dubb, you over here running around over here acting like you need a hug, cuz You're not knowing what time you're living in, and you know better because you from down, you probably from Texas. You look like you a Texas boy. You should know better than this. So yes, it is about lineage. But listen to what this man got to say.
That there's nothing to be said for heritage and lineage and blood. And really, a lot of what we have going on today, there are a few people, this isn't original to me, a few people have provided this insight, have noticed part of what's going on in a political and cultural sense in America and the West really just in general. Part of what's going on is that we are ruled now by theater kids. And I don't know if you've noticed, but that hasn't been working out very well. It's not a good thing. The kids that should have been shoved harder into lockers when they were growing up.
He got triggered. Poor guy. He was like, oh my God, you're quoting Lord of the Rings and singing Disney movies, and maybe you was a little one guy, this guy is crazy. No, he's talking about lineage. Meanwhile, here you over acting confused. I don't know what he's talking about. He knows exactly what he's talking about, bro. But you're too weak to profess it. It's grown man shit right here, man.
That's where I got to pause right there.
Yeah.
Hey, what's funny about this? There's so much funny here. First of all, he complains about us being ruled by theater kids. Now, there's an extent,
The irony.
There's an extent where I even can kind of say, okay, I know what you're trying to say, like liberal arts, like creative versus like pragmatic. Okay, but then he goes on for first of all, sing a Disney song. He knows the words to it at the end of this clip. Now you could say he's making fun of it, but the brother knows it. And then he also quotes Lord of the Rings extensively. Now I understand it's a book, right? We understand we're not referring to a movie. It's a book, but it's like, bro, what's going on there? First of all, but for him to make some kind of joke, I guess it's supposed to be a joke. The kids who should have been pushed a little harder into lockers is the.
Yeah.
What do you think, Marlon?
Just
fast forward.
I mean,
he don't know what
when I hear
it's to it tells you something about their character. How would you define it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's why I'm looking up the definition right now. The judgment of a character by facial features or expression. So it's obviously having some kind of ethnic kind of. Obviously different groups have different facial features. So you want to laugh at the black guy with the big nose.
Ooh, damn. Hurt. You got used. He made a song about it. He had a whole video about his song. They wrote about how hurt he was about racism. He got his black friend on there, and they just like, yeah, this is stupid. Try to clap back, and that was it. Moved on, and guess what? Next video, he's talking about another black pastor going off. Back to work, boy. Yeah, he got you. He got you good, man. He got you good. I'm in it right there. Yeah, you got what you was looking for. That's what you get. Yep. Shalom.